Hello, I just thought I'd do a short video of me popping round my locality. Quite a bit to see actually where I live. I live in Willows in Merseyside, so let's take you on a tour. Firstly, there's a lot of industrial architecture. That, whoop, there, is the Liverpool to Manchester Railway, more of which later. Despite living in a suburb of Merseyside, there's actually quite a few nice little wooded walks, which is literally alongside the waterway, behind some houses on both sides, but very nice and quiet. 10-minute walk, I am in open fields. I know this is winter, but in the summer this looks lovely. Those houses there, they are now the Vulcan housing estate, but that used to be the Vulcan Foundry, a railway works. It's very much an industrial part of the world, this, as we'll see shortly. The aforementioned railway works is perfectly located, as we're now about to walk under the West Coast Main Line. Perfect timing, I've just missed 2 trains, but anyway, we'll walk through there now and onwards to a Civil War site. Yes, back to the days of Oliver Cromwell. Right, I'm nothing but informative on this channel. Technically, I'm not in Willows at the moment. This is technically Warrington. You can see that road up there? That's sort of like the boundary. Anyway, we are now at a Civil War battle site. This relatively quiet country road is the area for the Battle of Red Bank. And there is the aforementioned bank. Big tree, probably sandstone escarpment underneath that. And Oliver Cromwell and his boys came through here at some point. Many years ago. Once I've done my research, you'll probably see popping up under the screen now details of precisely when it was. But just think back what this was like at that time. Can you imagine it? Next stop on the Industrial Heritage Tour, Parkside Colliery. Used to be part of the Lancashire Coalfields, closed in the 1980s, and hopefully with my editing skills you'll have a photo, soon to be, Parkside Business Park, and that's Parkside Link Road, which will link us to the M6. Times change. Right, we're at the much modernised Willows railway station. My regular in and out for Liverpool and Manchester, and over there, and I've cut the traffic brilliantly, is the 4 Arches Viaduct, and the infamous cousin for its 9 arches. Oops, forgot to mention, nearly 200 years ago, Stephenson's rocket would have gone over that. Don't you just love a Victorian folly? Welcome to what's now Willow Park. And the lovely Willow Lake. Do like sitting here in the summer. This is filmed 1st of February, so not exactly roasting. Haven for wildlife this now. This water ultimately feeds down into the River Mersey. But some Victorian decided he wanted to have a nice lake. And there's a lovely park up there though, which we'll walk through in a minute. Right, so leaving the dam, we've got a nice little park down there with all sorts of walks. That actually goes all the way down the side of the lake. And this goes up to another park and a nice little church. You wouldn't think you were in a major city conurbation here, halfway between Liverpool and Manchester, but there's the lake down there. We have a children's playground over there. Nice little parkland through to the church. More in a minute. Leaving Willow Park now. Heading towards the church and onto the high street. If you've seen my video of when the Christmas lights were turned on, this was just down there on the high street there. Can you believe the church car park's paying display? But anyway, I'll put up the name underneath it in post-edit. Not religious, but I do love architecture, and this is a lovely example. Norman? Not sure. And there's the entrance to the church. Which leads nicely onto the high street. Right, I didn't take any footage on the high street. I'll try and squeeze some photos in if I can. But this is Mesnes Park. I'll type it like Bully underneath, because I can never pronounce it, and I've been here 5 years. Football match going on this side today. The second part of this unpronounceable park, shooting into the sun on a winter, is not very good, but that tree line at the back is again the Liverpool to Manchester Railway, coming up to 200 years old, and at some point Stephenson's rocket would have been flying down there. The right hand side of this image is heading towards Liverpool and the famous Rainhill Trials area, and the left hand side is going to Manchester. Right, little quirk, we're going under the Liverpool and Manchester Railway, and it's a single tunnel, which as a pedestrian you can walk through on your own, obviously waiting for the button at the right point. And if you look at those lights up there, the house opposite has its own traffic light. Right, so that was part one, I think, in that there's still plenty to see in the locality. Hope you enjoyed the walk around Newtley Willows, and see you again soon. As usual, please subscribe, like, etc.